Welcome to Season 4 of You're Not Alone with Townsend. On this podcast, I'll be sitting down with guests from all over the world to discuss everything under the umbrella of mental health, diagnoses, sharing stories of resilience, medical advice, and even getting some tips and tricks from licensed counselors. The goal of this podcast is to teach us how to understand others, ourselves, and help spread love and light, one episode at a time. Please make sure to like and follow this podcast, and if you'd like to see the videos of these conversations, hop on over to my YouTube channel, TownsendTmusic YouTube, where you can find the podcast and my latest music. This podcast is run solely by supporters and listeners just like you. So if you'd like to help keep this podcast and project going, please consider hopping on patreon.com/TownsendTmusic to be part of the team. You'll also find extra content and questions with each and every guest. Let's hop in. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of You're Not Alone with Townsend. I'm super excited. This is actually the second time I've gotten to spend time with Ray. He hopped on. This is bizarre. In 4 years of doing this project, four and a half, something like that, I've been doing this podcast, the whole You're Not Alone with Townsend project. I have interviewed literally hundreds of people, and this has never happened before. So we were trying to talk before, like, why? So we did an interview. It was amazing. He had all this information. I went to edit it. It acted like it was pulling up, and then it's like, this file doesn't exist. It's the most bizarre. I called all the tech companies. I called Zoom. We emailed back and forth. They ran tests. They got back all my interviews that have ever been done except one. And I find that bizarre. Also really cool. So, Ray, what do you think?
About that, I think I'm the chosen one.
That's it. This is it.
It's
this
like
is the
God's
winning.
like, you know what? This ain't good enough. We're going to redo it.
Yeah, he's giving you a second chance.
Yeah, correct.
That's it.
I think
Literally
we all need
never.
second chances.
Boy, isn't that right? Yeah, literally never had before. I have 2 hard drive backups. So it's pretty weird.
Sure.
And Ray's like, I feel like you're super powerful. Like, I don't know if people are watching the video or listening, but like, one thing that drew me to you initially, and I actually messaged about just your incredible awareness of everything and just like being super powerful, super involved and interactive, very charismatic. So I feel like this is it. Number 2 is what it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
We had to go through some refinement,
That's it.
on your end and on my end.
Yeah, and what's crazy is since the first interview, Ray's moved, he's upgraded, he's got this brand new background, like legit. Last time we did it was like on the couch and service in and out. It was really cool.
I got
really
papers here and there.
I know. I love it. And your camera's like zooming it. You're just high tech now.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I love it. You also look great.
Thanks. You know what? The product of looking great has to do with feeling great internally.
Boy, I believe that 100%. Yeah.
So thank you
feel
for
like
that.
You're,
Appreciate it.
Yeah. You feel like you're doing good?
I think out of like 30, we're going to deduct 4 years. I'm 38, but we're going to subtract 4 years. So 34 years of me existing on this planet, of being conscious of life. I think I'm finally, I know I'm in my purpose. I'm fully in alignment with my purpose, and I can't fail because this fella right here has got my back. So, and that being said, as a man, when you finally find your purpose, it's like incredibly powerful, and nobody can get you off your purpose. External influences are not going to impact you negatively. You're going to allow the positive stuff. You're going to dismiss the BS that's not for you. So being in full alignment is incredibly powerful.
How cool. Man, I love it. I love seeing you succeed. It's so cool. Like, you look.
Appreciate it.
I know that's crazy. It's only been like 4 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, but you look healthier. That's bizarre to me. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, all these people are like, anyway, who is this guy? So let's introduce you again. So who is Ray? Where do you live? What do you feel like your purpose is? What is your job?
So my name is Ray of Sunshine, but I didn't start out as Sunshine. Definitely did not. I became Sunshine. I live in St. Pete, and I wouldn't call what I do as a job. I would call what I do as my purpose. Is I help people navigate through their own darkness, through their own mental health, through their own struggles by being a light within their darkness so they can stand on their own. And so I am a trauma coach. I am a specifically under the life coaching umbrella, I am a trauma informed life coach because I have borderline personality disorder, ADHD, complex PTSD, and bipolar traits. So, and then through a life of suffering and torment and literal torment, the term torment is probably the best word I can use. Um, so I found a way through it to remission. So there's no way I can keep this information to myself. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, use me as a conduit to bring people either closer to the Lord too, but also educate them on how they can be more in tune with themselves, find truth, and literally have peace and happiness. And then you get to literally enjoy life as you're intended.
Yeah. Man, I
It's just
love
such a
that.
blessing. Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. It aligns so perfectly, which is why I feel like we were meant to meet with my podcast and my whole purpose of everybody has a story. I feel like it was my calling to help share people's stories. So I cannot thank you enough for not only coming on once, but coming on twice. It truly means so much, Ray. I
Wonderful.
know you're crazy busy. I know you're crazy busy. Okay, so you're incredibly open about your diagnosis of what you call online BPD. So let's define that for people. What is BPD?
Now, a quick shout out to our sponsors.
If you're looking to buy or sell, I have the perfect realty company for you. Clark & Co. Realty is located in the Benton, Bryant, Arkansas area, and they understand that buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why their team of highly seasoned real estate professionals is dedicated to providing exceptional, personalized services for all their clients. They truly take great pride in the relationships they build, and they always work relentlessly on the client's behalf to help them achieve their perfect real estate goals. They always have the client in mind, and I can speak firsthand when I say how reliable, trustworthy, and quick they were. When I was looking to buy my first home, they were there with me every step of the way, answering every question I could think of. They showed me a great amount of knowledge and patience through the process. It's no wonder they've won so many awards for their outstanding services and their excellent relationships with clients. So if you're looking to buy or sell, there is no better option than Clark & Co. Realty.
So BPD is commonly misconstrued as or confused with bipolar, but borderline personality disorder. It's usually stems from childhood. It could be genetic as well. Borderline personality disorder is a personality disorder. You have to become an individual to survive through trauma. You have to disassociate to survive through trauma. You have no idea what's going to happen. Um, Lo and behold, it happens to be 75% of individuals are women who have BPD. I'm the lower 25% men, and it is more common than you think. And a lot of people are coming forward to talk about what's going on with their emotions, and like their life has been in absolute chaos and shambles. They're like, I don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden they get diagnosed with BPD, and they're like, oh my gosh, oh, I know I was suffering through childhood trauma, but I mean, this explains everything. When I got my diagnoses, my brain blew up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, now I can understand all of my patterns of behavior. It's like began the road to ascending to remission. It was super incredible.
Wow. How old were you when you started to get that, when you got the diagnosis?
So 38, 36.
So you just figured
My
all this
whole
out.
life. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm like going to be full tilt crazy the rest of my life, which you have to be. Honestly, you have to create unorthodox tactics to adapt and live because what you have is unorthodox.
Right.
And that's another reason why I came into this field to begin with, is because I have a natural ability to feel people and kind of recognize patterns of behavior because I had to call my own bullshit. And healing people is just such an amazing gift. We're built for servitude. So I'm now here to serve however I need to serve. And this happens to be something I'm really good at.
Man, that's so cool. I love it. I'm so proud of you. Like, so cool.
I'm
I'm
proud
just
of you
blown away.
too.
I know I
Look
said
at
this.
Townsend.
Look at Townsend. I know I said this earlier, but like, this is gonna be bizarre, but you seem like a new Ray.
You have
Is
to
that
be.
bizarre? I mean,
No, it's
do you
not
feel
bizarre.
like
It's
you've had a
legit.
big change in the last like 6 weeks?
I don't know about 6 weeks. I think it was like 4 months ago.
That we did our
Tried.
interview? No
Yeah, it's been a
kidding.
long
Time
time.
flies.
Time flies.
Well,
But yeah,
4 months.
you have so many different versions of yourself. But
Yeah.
with critical and self-analysis, you have to answer a couple questions. One, is this version of myself is it satisfactory, or do I need to become more because
Yeah.
I'm destined for more?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you're doing great.
I'm for sure different, 100%.
Yeah. So what were your, and we kind of talked about this when we first chatted. What were some of your first signs and symptoms? Some things that you noticed that you were like, well, that's kind of different.
Well, as a kid, one of the first signs and the most potent one that I can always teleport back to, I can have age regression all the way back to this event, is it became a almost a predictable process when my stepdad would come home, and then as soon as he would walk in the door, my automatic detection system would go through an analysis, and I knew immediately what was going to happen. So those feelings are so all encompassing, and then figuring that out, those indicators throughout the rest of my life became like, oh my gosh, okay, I can almost predict things,
Yeah.
especially if it's a traumatic experience. But when I was detecting this system, the first indicator I would get was immediate influx of like, it's like somebody pouring acid through my nervous system. That was one of the primary indicators. And then it's like I am peering through these windows through my eyeballs, and I'm not even in charge. It's just like, okay, I don't know what's happening, and this is happening, but I can't do anything. And then I'm not in control of my motor functions at all, so I just have to sit here. Like I don't even know
Yeah.
where to start. That's a good start.
Why? With a lot of people I have interviewed, I feel like disassociation starts a lot when you are a child. And like I said, when you have a traumatic event, I know you kind of went into yours last time, but I have had like sexual assaults. I've had people getting physically abused, verbally abused. And when you're a kid and you can't wrap your head around it, it's just, we're not meant to understand that, right? And so your
Yeah,
brain, your body, your nervous system tries to protect you. And how it does so is it does this thing called disassociating,
and
which
that's
is
yeah,
yeah, what you
100%.
had talked about, your body literally just kind of zones out. You were out of the body, out of locus of control, and it's your way of coping with it.
Which one theory is that's where the root of splitting is. So
Yeah.
it's like splitting on your favorite person. You love them and you hate them. Like you love them and there's a trigger, and then you hate them. But it doesn't even have to be with them. You can be triggered with yourself. Oftentimes that's the case.
Yeah.
We are translating information. We're translating the event or what's said or whatever in a fashion to where now we're reacting to what we perceive.
That's right.
So I was frequently essayed as a child myself. That is why I'm in this field. In fact, people are like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm like, no, 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 no. In fact, say I'm thankful that happened, because without that, I wouldn't be making the impact I am today. Without that, I wouldn't have the superpowers I have today. And I'll tell you, um, not yeah, it has been torture. With wisdom comes pain, but with pain comes wisdom. Correct. So you got
Yeah.
to really pay attention to where you're being pushed.
Okay, so as a kid, you kind of learned how to well, not even learned,
So
your
yeah, yeah,
body
yeah, yeah. So
reacted. Did that continue
exactly.
into adulthood?
100%. It would
Yeah.
just, I would trigger after trigger after trigger, but that's due to my perception. My
Yeah.
perception on, you know, the careers that I have. I wouldn't even say career jobs that I would have. I would literally punch my boss in the solar plexus because I thought he was talking a certain way to me when he wasn't. It was just a trigger defense mechanism that spiked up for no reason. And I go into a reactive state.
You're right, active. Yeah, and you're pretty, I mean, if people can't say you're pretty yoked, I would hate to be knocked out by you. You'd send me into like next Tuesday, that is for
Thank you very
sure.
much. Would never happen. I would
But
protect you.
thank you. I
Nobody would knock
appreciate
you
that.
out.
That you could be my bodyguard. I travel all the time.
Sure.
You may
Let's
be
go.
hired. The pay is
Let's
terrible,
go.
but
Okay.
so okay, you were talking about getting your diagnosis just a couple of years ago. What does that look like? Is it testing? Is it blood work? Is
So
it
it's not just blood work. It's not like you go in, do blood work, and then you have BPD. My experience to get to the point of a diagnosis was therapist after therapist after therapist after, you know, paired with a therapist and they're texting on their phone and I wanted to drag them across the desk. Paired with a therapist and it just felt like you're not listening to me. Like how are you asking that question? Like that shouldn't even be a question if you're just hearing what I was saying. So therapist after therapist, depression after depression, thinking about self-deletion often. Like it was a grimy and difficult road to get to the point where I finally found a therapist, did some EMDR, And I was like, okay, well, you have BPD and obviously complex PTSD and Marine Corps abandonment issues big time with the Marine Corps, and also a core trait of BPD is abandonment and mood instability. So, anyways, when I got that diagnosis, and like everything just started aligning, like with the rapid succession, it was
Yeah.
incredible.
What pushed you to go to therapy at first? Because I know, like, I've interviewed people with narcissism and they don't have that awareness. But again, I'm blown away by your awareness of yourself. Have you always had that?
Because I wasn't understanding what was going on internally, and I was hitting rock bottom everywhere I went.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody in my life loves me. I don't know what's going on. I'm pissed at everybody, and I feel like it has to do with my childhood trauma. But I'm like over that. It's back in the past. I can't go in the back. I can't rewind time. Um, so one day I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, you can't live life like this. So I'm just gonna cut the head off the chicken. Then
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Let me reach out and see if I get therapists. So I started doing therapy consistently, but um, that's what helped. When I hit, you'll find out how strong you are when strength is the only thing you have left.
Hmm.
So that's the point I hit. I hit the point where I was like, nothing else matters. Why do I even matter? Being here clearly is just utter chaos incarnate. So it took me to break fully, have narcissistic fracture, have ego death, all that stuff to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I need help.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Now you touched on this a little bit earlier, but is borderline personality disorder, is it hereditary? Is it genetic? Do they know?
So it can be hereditary to a degree, but you can't have a full diagnosis with some hereditary traits
Okay.
based on my understanding of what's going on with it. Um, you can get diagnosed with traits and then going through trauma, rejection, invalidation, all that stuff, and you can get BPD, but commonly it's due to childhood trauma.
Yeah. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And you were talking about it's way more common in women than men.
Yeah, 75% of people who have
Interesting.
BPD are women.
Do you know what some of the most common symptoms or characteristics are?
Severe abandonment, mood cycling daily,
Yeah.
severe paranoia,
Yeah.
anger outbursts, unstable relationships, unstable relationships, um, severe depression. It is just such a powerhouse of a condition to have.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. And then you pop that.
derealization, depersonalization, psychosis.
Mm,
It is just such a crazy thing for me, be blessed with. For other people, to be struggling with, because this is why I'm here. I'm at the point to where getting my information out there to show people you can, peace is possible.
yeah. Yeah. That's what you were talking about last time I chatted with you, relationships or something you really struggled with. Have you figured out kind of how to navigate that? Like, okay, I need to step back. Because you were talking about the example that really stuck out to me is you could be sitting on the couch in love with this person 1 second and the next second just hate them,
Yeah,
loathe them.
100%. That's part of mood cycling. And
Yeah.
you have to be conscious of that. If you're going to have these conditions, any condition really, and technically, actually, let me back up and then I'll get more heavy. If you have any kind of condition, who's responsible for your emotions? You are. Who's responsible for my emotions? I am. That being said, if you have severe conditions like myself and others, you have to do the work because you could be sitting next to your partner and you're like fully in love with them and like infatuated, and then the next minute hate them. But you are not hating them. Something is happening internally to where it's creating hateful feelings and emotions, and your brain is trying to attach it to them. It is.
Mm.
You have to be understanding of this because you can burn the people in your proximity if you're unaware. 100%.
Boy, isn't that right? Man, man. Can you tell yourself? Can you tell when you're about to go through a manic episode?
So manic and mania are usually they're attached to um, bipolar, which I have bipolar traits. But yes, I can definitely tell I have. It's pending. It's coming up because usually it's hard to tell if it's gonna be that. But before any of my portions of my cycles come, there's always a weird state. It's like not good, not bad, kind of in the middle where it could be one or the other. I'm like, could you just pick a direction?
Just
Because
go somewhere.
I'm just not sure like how to feel. But you can't force anything. You can't prevent these things from happening. You could only respond to them.
Right.
So the weird state happens, and then one of my cycles starts to happen, like derealization or depersonalization, or dissociative, or maybe mania or hypomania. So it's always a weird state is the precursor, and then off to whatever mamby pamby land.
What do you in these moments? What do you even do to kind of help? So let's say you're in a relationship, you're in a friendship, somebody's got a job, and you hit one of these cycles. What in the
Yep.
world are you supposed to do?
First off, if you're around people, you got to communicate. Hey guys, this is what's going on. Because without communication, people are just going to look at you like you're a weirdo. Like Ray's like for some reason upset, nothing even happened, so they don't understand because you're not communicating. It's your responsibility if you're around people to communicate. It's also your responsibility to already have set trigger control protocols in place. So it's the same across the board. If you know you're getting mad at something, you have to identify you're getting mad, which you will know, and then you have to create space and then create a response. So at workplace, I got to go to my boss, be like, hey man, not doing very well right now. I think I might need to go home. That's happened numerous times to where I am now not an asset to work. So they have to cut the weekend, which makes sense 100%. And that's why a lot of these people with these conditions have so many jobs. They have so many different relationships. They amplifies the abandonment. So when these conditions do happen, when the mood cycling happens, I mean, you could literally get up, brush your teeth, have coffee, go to work, and within the hour and a half, go through 5 different moods.
Yeah.
Consciousness is super important, and it's going to save your life, and it's going to save people's lives around you if you can be more self-aware.
Yeah. I love how you pointed out the not being able to hold a job or relationship then adds on to the abandonment. That's something I never would have thought about, but so true. Like it just adds on and adds on.
Mm.
Last time we chatted, you had mentioned one of your things that helps you most is to go into like a quiet room.
Yeah,
like
correct.
Quiet, kind of dark room with your lights. Yeah, is that still your thing?
I
Yeah.
got to have the lights. I got to have, this is a reflection. What you're seeing right now, all this stuff is a reflection of me.
Yeah.
I have my King James version here, which I can't read this shit.
I was going to
So
say
I had to get this one. I'd be like, what's it say?
Yeah.
And the king said, let him turn to his own house. It doesn't say it like that in here.
Yeah. This thou hath. That's hard to read. I'm a very educated woman, but that book is incredibly hard. Yeah, I had to get the dumbed down version.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Layman terms.
So yeah, this is a reflection of my personality because understanding your truth will set you free. Understanding truth is going to set you free. The more you understand yourself, the more you're going to be at peace. And like I was baselining it as me cheating on my significant others, they're saying, hey, did you cheat on me? Or why did you cheat? I'm like, no, I didn't. When I was lying to you, lying to them because I couldn't confront that demon because I didn't understand what was going on. And now that I hurt them, I even more don't want to admit that because I don't even know what the hell's going on in my internal world. That being said, what does it say in the Bible? It says, follow me, for I am the truth, I am the way, right? Well, as soon as I tell them, okay, you know what, I did cheat on you, what happens? A big lift, an elephant gets off their chest, and now they can start to process. Me, a huge lift came off my chest when I first got my diagnosis. Why? Because we got truth. Now, understanding that this byproduct, what you see around me, is because I'm finding more and more truth about me on what makes me tick, what I like, what I don't like. So going to a calm room for stabilization is important. When your nervous system is throttled to the moon, you cannot being in a chaotic environment is not what your nervous system needs because it's already chaotic. So replicating an environment where you want your nervous system to get to is what needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody will kind of have their own little
100%.
Yeah. I love it. Very cool. I love that you kind of have found what, for right now, you could go through different seasons, but right now this is what makes Ray feel better. More centered.
I got a whole plethora of things, but this is just one of many.
Yeah, I love it. So last time we talked, something I found super interesting, and I love that you did it. You were big on journaling your feelings, and you even showed me this app that your therapist had given you, and you literally journaled. Yes, so, every feeling you have. Yeah, that one.
So this is my notes. I journal. I do digital journal, but here's what we're talking about.
Red, green, yellow.
This is called Dailyo, a mood stabilization app. So I'll just log in here real quick.
That's what I remember.
So I have all these moods in here. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow. So right now I'm in the green. So click the green. You got all these activities that you're doing in here too. This is such a help because once you log this stuff in, um, it will prompt you like, hey, how's your day going? Do you want to journal? You can journal within the app. It's
That's
such an
cool.
amazing
Yeah.
app.
I remember you getting really into that. And so you were journaling all your feelings. And once you got to a certain amount and a certain amount of time, they talked about putting you maybe on medication if they felt like you qualified to do so. Did that ever
Yeah.
happen?
So I am on methylphenidate for my ADHD, and I'm also on lamotrigine or Lamictal for my mood stabilization. Um, I am talking to the psychiatrist to see if it's beneficial for me to be on antipsychotics or not. I'm still that's still in the chamber, kind of being reviewed.
Yeah, yeah. Look at me remembering 4 months later.
Yeah, man, look at
Um,
that.
so how are you feeling about do you feel like the medicine has been beneficial?
Yeah, I think everything that I've been doing, praying every day, doing my mindset mastery growth, surrounding myself by good quality people who support you, love you, and want you to succeed, medications. These are all tools. You got to find your tools to build your temple. You can't
Yeah,
just build it with one medication, and you can't expect the medication to do the work. It is an assisted tool to help you get to a point of stability. It's
yeah.
so important.
I love that you point that out too. Absolutely. You got to put in a little bit of the work, but the medication can help you get there, kind of help,
100%.
yeah, kind of help everything get centered a little bit. Okay, going back to, is there treatment and what does that look like? And we kind of touched on that medicine, counseling. Are there other things that people have found that worked that you have found that worked?
Yeah, so EMDR is amazing. That's where incredible. Also, DBT, dialectal behavioral therapy, is excellent. In fact, the lady who invented it, she had BPD. It's specifically for BPD, but obviously you don't have to have BPD to get really good information out of it. So DBT is a really good source. They said I'm a good candidate for PRRC, which is psychological rehabilitation and recovery center here in St. Pete. So
Okay.
that's more like coaching based. They're like workbooks and community and all that stuff. I was like, yes, let me talk to
Done.
these people. Let me do it.
Yeah. I feel like
So
you're like a homework guy.
yeah, I got to do the homework for myself, and
Yeah.
then I give you guys the homework. It's so important. You got to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Very cool. Very cool. So basically just a cocktail of things that work best for you.
100. Yeah, I mean everybody's got their own cocktail. My metric of measurement is probably not going to work for you. I
True.
have some baseline perceptions and things like that that everybody should try and understand, but because I have some unorthodox conditions, I have to be a little bit unorthodox with my own training with myself.
Yeah, true, true. And I mean, it just kind of adds to it. We vaguely mentioned it earlier, but serving in the service, coming back with PTSD, I mean, that just adds another little factor, not little, another factor on BPD that other people may not deal with.
Sure,
Also, with that, thank you for your service. I have
appreciate it.
huge respect for people of the service. Absolutely. Okay, as we wrap this up, what do you wish people knew about BPD?
I wish people knew that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
I also wish you all, you're going to know this at some point, but I wish you guys knew that you're not crazy
Mm.
and everything's going to be all right. That's
Yeah.
what I wish you guys know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're just a little quirky. I
Yeah,
think
so you got to be
somebody,
weird.
yeah, yeah, stay
You got to be
weird.
weird.
Somebody on my last podcast, it was about autism, and
Mm.
she said, "You're not crazy. You're just a little weird, a little
Yeah, you're just a little
quirky."
weird. You're just a little weird.
But we
Yeah,
all are. Let's be for real.
yeah.
Ray, I cannot thank you for joining me once again. You're I am just so freaking proud of you. You've come so far in such a short amount of time that I've known you. Tell people where they can find you. I know you're doing coaching now. Where can
Yeah.
we find all that?
So TikTok is trigger underscore control, and my Instagram is trigger underscore control underscore. Find me over there. I do general coaching in the mornings. Um, on TikTok, I do general coaching in the mornings and the evening, and then I'm trying to build my Instagram account to 1,000. I'm nearing it, so I can do general coaching over there. And also, my main goal is to monetize on TikTok so I can bless those who are financially struggling, so I can pay for people's therapy because they don't have the money, like buy vacations for them because they've never been able to because of their conditions. Like I'm trying to open up doors for people who have never experienced parts of life that they should have already experienced. And the only way I'm going to do that is put myself in a position so I can receive blessings from God when he thinks I'm ready.
When he thinks you're ready. That's right. I love that. I love that. How cool. I love that you're
Appreciate
using
it.
your gift to bless others, help heal yourself, to then heal others. So cool.
Same with you.
So cool.
Same with
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Ray, let's hop off here. Listeners, you know how this goes. Ray and I are going to keep talking. We're going to get a little bit more personal about him, kind of dig deep, see what's going on in that big old brain of his. But if you want to hear those, you got to hop onto patreon.com/TownsendTmusic. You can also watch these interviews on YouTube at TownsendTmusic YouTube. If not, we'll catch you later.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this interview, visit patreon.com/TownsendTmusic. And don't forget, you can also watch the interviews on our YouTube channel at TownsendTmusic YouTube.